open your eyes and enter the world of science, curiosity, answers. Welcome to Why Is. Why is it important to learn more than one language? Why is it said that there are advantages to it? Why is every other job posting requiring multilingual applicants these days? This is Why Is, and today we'll talk about why is it important to learn more than one language? Most probably, you have come across all the reasons and all the explanations why certain citizens don't study more than one language, all of them based on long-standing stereotypes and assumptions. Fact is, in today's highly integrated and interdependent society, expertise in other languages is a critical ability that allows you the potential to communicate with others more quickly and meaningfully. Whether in your neighborhood or hundreds of miles away, it better trains you to survive and thrive throughout the global economy. But why is it important to learn more than one language? Before we move on, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are a part of a multilingual environment that is being highly globalized, and thus it is really necessary to learn more than one language. There are three key explanations for this. An extra language will help you make strides with your profession, boost consciousness about other communities, and improve our comprehension and awareness of our own language. Many work ads also state that, in certain situations, they require employees with second, third, and even fourth languages. So learning more than one language opens up the doors to opportunities in a very significant way. Moreover, as many more businesses continue selling overseas, people sometimes continue employment for which they do not need communication skills, but are either required to travel abroad or are given a promotion that needs language skills. Few may contradict this argument by claiming that there are a number of other employments open, but that is clearly no longer the case in the global economy, with more countries being foreign. Another explanation of why it is useful to learn more than one language is that it enhances cultural knowledge and helps you to interact with other people. Learning the language often aids in knowing about another community, particularly when your language skills are at a higher stage. This knowledge helps citizens of various nationalities and faiths to get together well, which is very necessary considering the high rates of immigration. Many nations with a large degree of immigration have problems with the lack of social mobility, and this is mostly attributed to the language barrier, and immigrants end up being separated and live in societies where their own language is spoken. And those who claim they don't want to encounter individuals of other backgrounds will come across issues and will recognize the value of knowing other languages. One of the most satisfying facets of human life is our desire to interact with others. This is an amazing blessing to be able to interact with others in his or her language. Bilinguals have a greater ability to connect in their personal and professional lives through a wider variety of individuals. If you know the language, most people consider you as a native, no matter where you are, practically and figuratively opening up the country for you. You're going to be influenced by cultures. You would feel humbled by the generosity of others. You're going to develop lifetime friendships. And for these purposes alone, for many coming years, you'll see the benefit you gain from learning multiple languages. Language abilities may be a big strategic benefit that sets you further from your monolingual colleagues. These are one of the top 8 skills needed for all professions, regardless of the industry or experience level, and demand for bilingual specialists is growing rapidly. In addition, between 2010 and 2015, the number of U.S. work openings directly aimed at bilingual applicants increased. Employers are searching for people who can interact effectively with clients in new and developing international markets, as well as represent and sell to a growing foreign-born community here at home. More than 60 million U.S. people speak a language other than English at home. You don't need to hop on a plane to bring your language abilities to function. For certain situations, knowing an additional language often contributes to rewards and higher wages. The several cognitive effects of language acquisition are evident. People who talk in more than one language have better recall, problem solving, and critical thinking abilities, enhanced focus, multitasking, and improved communication skills. They transition between competitive activities and track shifts in their world more quickly than monolinguals, as well as demonstrate signs of greater imagination and versatility. If it wasn't enough, when we mature, being bilingual or multilingual often tends to reduce emotional aging and cognitive loss. If you want to connect with a different culture, then language can be your direct link. If you can speak in another language, then it promotes an understanding of the customs, beliefs, cultures, and cultures of those connected with that language. Better comprehension encourages better empathy, respect, and appreciation for others, with research finding that kids who have learned another language are more responsive to and more optimistic towards the society linked with that language. Traveling as a local speaker can reshape a trip overseas. Although monolingual travelers can visit the same locations, it's easier for travelers who speak more than one language to explore beyond the tourist zone and to communicate and engage with others. On a planet where there are more than 60,000 languages, translations are often needed. However, understanding a minimum of one extra language promotes and opens us to the knowledge that might be out of reach. Individuals with experience in certain languages, for instance, can access the web as a true global citizen. Everyone who learns a language will admit to having his or her share of errors when learning a foreign language, often in front of the crowd. This is an essential aspect of the learning cycle. Language learning involves throwing yourself out and getting out of your comfort zone. The benefit is a great feeling of pride that you can get when you speak to someone in their native tongue. Research indicates that the decisions you make specifically in your second language or the language that isn't your first are usually more logical than those taken in our first language. In opposition to common beliefs, when we speak in our second or third language, we genuinely isolate oneself from the psychological feelings and prejudices closely identified in our first language. The result, huh? Systematic and clear-cut judgments focused purely on the facts. When we learn a new culture and language, we instinctively make parallels to what we know best. Information of another society sheds insight on facets of our own community, both good and negative, that we might not have previously noticed. You may have more respect for what you have, or you might want to mix things up. Overall, it can be argued that studying languages are extremely good for people and the cultures around them, making it rather necessary to be well-versed in multiple languages. If more and more people around the world knew more than one language, it would be great and make the planet eventually wealthier and more productive place to live. This is why it is so important to learn an additional language. Please like the video and press the bell button so you never miss a video. Let us know how many languages you know. Thanks for watching the video.